Hey friends, in this video, I will show you the 8 key steps you need to follow to grow on Pinterest very fast. I will also show you how to create an idea pin step by step that generates these kind of numbers. I also have an amazing present for you. It's a step-by-step map to understand the whole of Pinterest. And the great thing about it is that it's result-oriented. So if you follow the steps, you are guaranteed success. Pinterest is one of the fastest growing social media platforms in the world, with more than 500 million monthly visitors. Moreover, the saturation in Pinterest is mid to high, unlike YouTube, which is very high. Therefore, there are tremendous opportunities to grow fast on Pinterest. Lastly, because Pinterest is really female friendly, it's the ideal place to promote any businesses related to cooking, fashion, or decoration. So I'm going to show you a practical example, but before that, I'm going to give you some of the key steps you need to take in order to be very successful on Pinterest. The first one is to post frequently. It seems obvious, but you need to have a proper schedule on how many times you want to post on Pinterest and what kind of format you want to post in. Do you want to post on images, videos, or a mix of both? And you will see with Pinterest, you can use these 3 options. But because you need to post very frequently, you need to have a schedule, a calendar, and decide how many times you want to post. I like to post about 2 to 3 times a week, but I have a schedule. If you don't follow a schedule, you will burn out and you will also be discouraged because at the beginning you might not see results. But you need to put in the efforts, and I guarantee you, once you put a certain level of effort and consistency, you will grow very fast on Pinterest. The second secret or the second step is to engage with your audience. At least have that in mind when you're going to post your content. The reason why is your audience will provide you a lot of insight. Let's say you have a cooking channel, for example. You will get a lot of insight in the comment section from your viewers. For example, a simple question might be, where is the recipe? It might sound obvious, but sometimes you might forget to put the recipe clearly, or at least to indicate where they can find your recipe. Another example could be an ingredient that they don't know about. They might ask you, what is this ingredient you're talking about? By engaging frequently with your audience, you will know what they want, what they like, and what they are seeking in terms of your content. And that will help you refine your content better. And that will help you with the first step in creating content on a regular basis, but that are relevant to your audience so that you don't create content and then burn out after a while. So the next element in going fast on Pinterest is to have high quality images that reflects you, as opposed to stealing and taking images from other pins, other people's account, and creating a huge wallet of other people's pins. It's better if you create high quality content through images and videos that are really a reflection of what you are, what your business is. People will connect better that way as opposed to repinning other content creators' pins. Through a lot of experience, I realized audience really engages with your own content when from A to Z, everything you post is really yours. Of course, at the beginning, the quality of your images or your videos are not necessarily that great, but the more you practice it, the better you become, and the more you see people really connecting with you. So you need to have high quality images that really are a reflection of what you are, what your business is. That's a guarantee to success. Another big aspect of growing fast on Pinterest is to tell stories. The reason why I say that is because if you look at the idea pins on Pinterest, you will see that they increase the length of the videos from 1 minute previously to 2 minutes now. So what does it mean? That means that Pinterest want to make people stay on their social media platform as long as possible. And the best way to do that is to create stories through your pins that really keep users engaged with your content. So for example, if you create a recipe pin, you can lay it down in a way that tells a story. Meaning, for example, a picture with the end result, and then pictures that shows the key ingredients and how you create a story with the recipe. So for example, a before, in between, and after. And then you have your video that shows the recipe in a compact way. So that way the viewers are something they can take and they are engaged with your content through the pictures that tell a story. I will show you how to do it and how to get 1 million views within a short period of time. Another aspect of going fast on Pinterest is to use all the tools Pinterest provides you in terms of content delivery. So with Pinterest, you can create pins, but you can also create idea pins. Idea pins are more in line with the storytelling aspect I mentioned before. A lot of content creators like to take pins from other content creators to bulk up their own account. On the other hand, if you create your own pin with your own content, yes, it takes more effort, but you get rewarded. For example, with idea pins, I grew more than 1,000 times the amount of subscribers I got and more than 50,000% the amount of viewers on my content. And one of the reasons is because with idea pins, you get to show your own capabilities, who you really are in a storytelling way. So while pins will be more like a one shot of your story, even if you can put videos on pin, idea pins is more like a storytelling, unfolding of your whole story. Another secret to grow on Pinterest fast is to collaborate with other users. I've seen it with my own eyes. I grew my channel and I saw other people grow their channel more than 50,000% just by collaborating with other Pinterest accounts or Pinterest users. Because you're trying to succeed on Pinterest, you're facing similar difficulties on how to do it. But the more you collaborate, the more you generate ideas from different angles and you get different point of views. And that's amazing if you want to grow your channel fast. In essence, you're able to shorten the learning curve and grow the potential for you to explode on Pinterest. So find someone or find a group of people you can associate yourself with and exchange ideas on the best tools to use, for example, to publish your pins faster, or the best practices of successful Pinterest accounts. In the same vein, another secret to go fast and go big on Pinterest is to rub shoulders with the best, even from a distance. By the best, I mean you can identify in your own niche or even in different niches who are the most successful Pinterest accounts, and then study what they do. What are their best practices? Because they follow a formula. Once you decipher the formula, you can apply it to your own account and you will see the magic. For example, what you could do is identify, let's say, between 5 to 10 successful accounts in your industry or in different industries. So I'll say, let's say you take 40% in your industries and the remaining in different industries. And then you analyze the last 5 pins of each of these accounts. You will see they do similar things in terms of their content delivery, the quality of the image, the flow of the videos, and also the descriptions and how they use the hashtags properly, how they direct you to their website so they can close the deal and close you as the users, and how they use the connection between the thumbnail of the pin, the title, the content, and everything else. So it pays a lot to study the best accounts and check what they're doing. Also, for example, in terms of rhythm, how often do they pin? Are they pinning once a week? Are they pinning frequently? Are they pinning on a regular basis? It's likely to be on a regular basis, believe me. And you can also study their account in a general fashion and their overall environment, their overall net, meaning from their Pinterest accounts to their YouTube channel, maybe if they have a YouTube channel or Facebook channel, to their website. What is the overall scenario, how things are going? Because they might get viewers not only from their Pinterest account, they might get viewers from their YouTube accounts going to their Pinterest account, vice versa. So you need to study the whole thing well, and then once you do that, you mimic what they do and you improve on it. Another secret to grow fast on Pinterest is to mix pin formats. I kind of alluded to that earlier when I told you to use the idea pins versus the pins, but even within the idea pins, you need to be able to find the right balance between, let's say, images, text, and videos, and create a right combination to that. So I'm going to show you an example with a very successful pins I created about brownies and how you can apply it to your own content. So to create your idea pin, you go on your Pinterest account, you click on create idea pin. You use it to tell a story. So you mix pictures and videos and text. So you drag all the relevant images and videos that you want to use to create your story, and then you arrange them in a sequential way. I like to use sequence of images with text for each image. So imagine a long phrase where you want to tell a story in one phrase and then you cut pieces of these phrases, and then that leads to the video, which is the overall secrets revealed. So as you can see, you can use different format and different fonts for your title, your text, and different colors as well. So as I mentioned, I like to use text for each images or each video that I put on my idea pin. And I like to make a variation of text size, font sizes, and font colors to make sure my content is still fresh.
Что бедность уже здесь, и что она просто ебала фемиду. Нахуй время допло, пришло время кредита. Да, теперь нас каждый день как день рождения. Мы купим большой плоский телек в воскресенье. Сыграем детям свадьбу в дорогом заведении. Возьмем еще один на сестру, кредит наше спасение.
What you will see is that you have a limited amount of fonts you can use on the idea pin. One way you can circumvent that is by going on any Microsoft document like a Word or Excel, whatever, and then you choose the font color that you like and you copy the font code and you paste it in the font of the Pinterest format. So as you can see, you just paste it there. And one last thing, when you make your videos, make sure that the text doesn't block anything important, anything you want the viewers to see. After that, you make sure you give as many information as possible on your idea pin with, as we said, the great thumbnail. So you have the title, and then make sure that in your title and in your description, the keywords appear, because that's very important for you to get ranked on Pinterest. You can use hashtag as well. Hashtag is very important. It also helps you get notified by Pinterest. So if, for example, your pin is about recipe, you fill all the other information like ingredients and how long it takes to cook, etc. Another thing you want to do as well is to use the links to any other social media platform you might have or your website. That's very good because successful Pinterest account, they make sure that you get into their overall net. So it's not just a Pinterest account they have their website, their YouTube, their Instagram, their Twitter or Facebook. So you can find them everywhere. And by doing this, you make sure that you catch as many people as possible and you retain them in your overall net. After that, you choose where you put the board. And another important section is the tag. So the tag is like choosing the keywords. So again, helping Pinterest know what your pin is about and helping you rank higher. You can also select to publish at a later date and allow people to comment. I suggest that you allow them to comment so that you can gather as much insight as possible. After that, you select OK, and then you verify there is no problem with your idea pin. And then you let the magic operate. One obvious secret to going fast on Pinterest is to pin at the right time. If you Google best time to pin on Pinterest, you will see suggested time. But what you will realize is the best time depends on the kind of content you create and where you live, where you are based geographically. So the best way to know what's the best time is for a period of time, let's say a week or 10 days, 2 weeks, you pin frequently and then you go to the analytics and see which pins perform the best and at what time. And then you try to duplicate that timing to see whether this timing is a golden timing for you. And then if you find it to be, then you replicate it. If not, you go back to the drawing board and you pin at different times. The suggested time you will see on Google when you type best time to post on Pinterest, I used them and I saw very mixed results. But then when I started to bulk pin my content and analyze what were performing better, I could see what were the best time for me. Once, just before Easter holiday, I had released a new content on Pinterest. But then I thought, just like the other one, it won't work. So I left, I went on holiday. And then when I came back, I saw a huge bump in numbers. I couldn't believe it. I had found the right time to pin, and then I started using that time. It was on a weekend, so I started using that time, and I saw more people attracted by my content at that specific time. The point is you experiment, you analyze, and then you implement. Hey guys, as promised, this is my gift for you. I've created a step-by-step PDF guide that shows you how to use Pinterest to reach millions of monthly visitors and create a huge fan base. I also teach you how to use adjacent tools to load your pins such as Canva. I show you how to find the right keywords for your pin using two methods, an easy to find one and one that is more tricky to find but is more valuable as it gives the number of monthly searches for that keyword. I'll also teach you how to create the pin on Canva. On Canva I show you the following: how and where to load your images and videos, how to make the pin, the correct format to use for Pinterest, how to download the pin, then how to load it on Pinterest. After that, I'll show you how to maximize the pin on Pinterest so that you can reach millions of viewers using the correct title, keywords, etc. I'll also teach you how to create idea pins, which is the fastest way to reach millions of people on Pinterest with the right sequencing of text, images, and videos. So guys, head to my Substack account and get this amazing file.